Good afternoon, my dear kids. Again, once more, welcome back to the concluding part of the sixth chapter of Ninth Standard Science. I think the name is Force and Laws of Motion. So, most of the parts, not most, almost all parts regarding that chapter is been covered, and the theory part was very easy. I think the theory part is very easy, but a numerical part is there regarding this chapter. It is the application of the first chapter of physics also. Okay, so you need both of them. That laws of motion in this chapter is there. Before that, you studied that three equations of motion. Understand? That three equations of the motion, where you want to substitute that in this chapter's equation for force. We studied a equation for force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, in that equation you want to substitute, and regarding that there will be a lots of numericals which will come in this chapter. Okay, let us start a quick revision regarding this chapter. Within 10-20 minutes we will cover the entire chapter. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to conclude everything regarding this chapter. Okay, the next week or the next day, not next week, next day we will start with the new part of chemistry. I think it's about atoms and molecules. Okay, the first two chapter of chemistry, it was very simple, but the third chapter is also simple. But now you are going to study real chemistry. Understand? Atoms and molecules is very important chapter regarding chemistry. The same atoms and molecules you want to continue. If you are choosing chemistry as your main, you want to continue with the same atoms and molecules till the end of the chemistry study. Understand? Without atoms and molecules, there is no chemistry in life. Okay, so leave it. Now we will just conduct a small revision regarding this chapter. First, we studied about what? We studied about force. So, what is force? I am holding this pen in my hand. Simply, I am not holding because I am strong enough to hold this pen. Okay, that is force. So, why you will ask that? Okay, it's a very small pen, right? It's a very small pen, but still I need some force. In the case of an ant, have you seen ants? Okay, can an ant hold this pen? No, because the ant does not has that a force. Okay, that much force does not the ant does not have. But how I can say it is a force? Because I am not holding it, it will go down, isn't it? That's why it is force. Okay, even in this position, the pen is not moving. Understand? It is at rest, but still I am applying some force to that pen. Actually, this is balanced force. Okay, during balanced force, bodies won't move. That we will discuss. But what is force? A push or a pull. Okay, that changes or tends to change. For example, I can snap this pen. Oh, it's hurt anyway. I can move this pen here and there because I have force. But in the case of this board, I am pushing it in that side. In that direction, I am pushing. But still, I am applying force. But the door is not door. The wall is not moving. Why? Because the wall is much bigger. Okay? And my force is a bit less regarding this wall. Okay, that's why a force is a push or a pull which changes the state of rest or tends to change. I am trying to change. I am tending to change the position. But this is big, that's why I cannot change. But still I am applying force. That is also force. To change the state of rest or of uniform motion. Okay, this pen is at rest. I have taken this pen in my hand and I am moving. So I am applying force on this. Okay, but still, see, I am catching the pen. The pen is in uniform motion. Am I right or not? But when it comes to my hand, it is rest. It is in rest position. Understand? So, if I stop the uniform motion, then also it is called as force. Okay, force has different anything. If we are physically doing some work, it is called as force. Understand? Maybe it is to change an object from rest to motion, or to increase the speed of the object. Also, you can do. Understand? A small football is coming towards us. We are going and kicking it. Already it is in motion, but we are increasing the speed of that football. That is also force. Understand? Anyway, force is very simple. Any push or pull is called as a force. You studied that in 8th standard. Okay. So its basic unit is Newton. Understand? You studied that. Basic unit of force is Newton. That means in mathematical terms we can write what F is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass means kilogram. Acceleration means meter per second square. So basic unit of force becomes kilogram meter per second. Isn't it? Force basic units. What is force? Kilogram meter second raised to minus 2, or we can simply say it as Newton or Newton, because Sir Isaac Newton was the man who formulated a lots of laws regarding this motion and force. Okay, let us start. First, you know what is force. Second, you want to study about balanced force. Two types of force is there. Understand? See, anyway, both of my hands have equal strength. Understand? Almost equal strength. So I am putting this one here and I am trying to press this. See, now the pen is at rest and I am pressing equal force. Understand? I am applying equal force. See, is it moving? How much force I am applying, it will be same from both directions. Understand? Because both of my hands are symmetrical. This one and this one, both hands has equal abilities to move. So that's why an balanced force won't change the position of an object. Okay, that is balanced force. Understand? See, if I am using this finger and I am using this hand, what is happening here? See, is this moving? So no, a bit it is, oh my god, it's gone. It is moving, right? Why? Because it is unbalanced force. Okay, my finger does not have that much power of my right hand. But in the case of hand, see, both I am pushing, it is not moving, because this is called as balanced force. Okay, when two forces acting on an object are equal in size, okay, equal in size, but act in the opposite direction. What happens if I am using both hands to move the pen will be gone outside. That is unbalanced force, because on the other side it is not acting. Understand? That is unbalanced force. For motion we need unbalanced force. Okay? And balanced force does not give any motion. For example, pen is at rest in my hand. It is balanced here. Understand? The pen is exerting some force in my hand. The same amount of force is applied by me to the pen. So that is balanced. So it is not moving. Okay? If I applying some, see, I am applying more force upside. The pen is moving or not? Now it is unbalanced force. Okay? The force pen applied on me is the weight of this pen. Understand? So now it is balanced. The same amount of force is I am applying on the pen. But if I am applying more force, the pen is moving upside. Understand? See? And if I am bringing it down means I am applying less force. And that time also it is unbalanced. So do you understand what is balanced and unbalanced force? Simple thing, if an elephant is being pulling a rock from right direction and a human being is pulling the rock from left direction, is it balanced force? No. Elephant has more strength, and automatically elephant will pull the human being to his direction. But two equal and same size the elephant is pulling means what will happen? No movement will happen there. Understand? So that is the introduction towards balanced and unbalanced force. It's very simple. Next, what we want to study? We want to study about laws of motion formulated by Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, he was an English physicist and mathematician, born in United Kingdom or England. Now we can say England. Okay. He was an English physicist at the same time mathematician, and we can say that Sir Isaac Newton is the father of, what say, not modern physics, the father of physics. Father of modern physics, Einstein. Some scientists say that it is Einstein, some says that it is Newton. Okay. but I am more fond with both of them, so I am not having any trouble in lives. So Sir Isaac Newton is the man. He was a pioneer in classical mechanics. He was a pioneer in classical mechanics. He formulated a lots of laws, not only regarding motion, also regarding this gravitation and all. Understand what all things, what all motions are happening in our earth. Okay, it has something extra support is there. That's called as gravitation. That's why these things are going down. Okay, that was formulated by Sir Isaac Newton. You already know the story when Isaac Newton was sitting under a tree, an apple tree in his home, not in his home. Anyway, nobody has a tree inside his home. He was sitting in the garden. Okay, and in the garden there was an apple tree there. And when an apple came and fell down onto his head, Isaac Newton thought that why this apple can't go upside? Why everything is going down? It's a common doubt, isn't it? Why everything? See, the pen fell down. Why? What is the reason behind that? What is the reason? Because something is attracting all the objects towards the ground. That power is called as gravity. Anyway, why I am telling this? Because we are not studying about gravity. We are studying about motion. Okay? He formulated, based on these observations, he formulated 3 laws. And that's the most important part in this chapter. The first law is about something called as inertia. Okay? Inertia means the ability, the property of an object to remain at rest. See, if I am pulling down my hand, see, if you closely check, you can see this pen is not directly coming with me. See, after I pull down my hand, for a small second it is already in the air. See, understand? It is not coming like this with my hand. Why? Because this object has a particular property to remain the state of rest or of uniform motion. In this case, it is rest. Okay. But see, now what is happening? Now this is in my hand. I am moving my hand and I am moving it back. But still this is going forward. Why? This has the property to remain in its current position of uniform motion. Now it is uniform motion. See, I pull back my hand, but still this pen is moving forward. Understand? That particular property is called as inertia. Okay? The property of an object to stay at rest or of uniform motion. That is called as inertia. This was discovered first by Sir Isaac Newton. Understand? And that is the first law of motion also. Okay? According to Newton's first law, an object in motion continues to be in the state of motion. Understand? If you roll this pen, see, it is continuing. But at a particular moment it is stopping. Why? Because of the friction from the ground. Understand? See, here I just snap. But it is continued to rolling on. Why? Because of this inertia. That is the first law of motion by Sir Isaac Newton. Mathematical derivation is not there. I have already given the theory part. Okay, 1 mark question. No mathematical derivation. Second moment, this momentum is important. The second law of motion regarding momentum is important. The first law of motion. What? Every object continues to remain at rest or of uniform motion unless an extra unbalanced force acting on it. That is the first law. Okay, every object in this world tends to remain in rest or in uniform motion unless an unbalanced force acting on it. Unbalanced force. Balanced force means equal force from opposite direction. It won't does any any motion in that object. Okay, that is the first law. So it is also called as the law of inertia. Okay, moment of inertia. Inertia is nothing but what? Distribution of mass inside the body. Okay, mass is actually a measure of inertia. More mass, more inertia. You already know that because we studied about the example, simple example. See, this is a pen. This is me. Okay, let's me 70 kilogram of me. Okay, this is pen, just 10 gram. If I am asking you to move this pen or me, which will be easier for you? Moving this pen or moving me from this part? It will be easy for you to move this pen because it is only 10 gram less mass. Inertia is very very less. More mass, inertia is very very high. So it will take more force to move me from rest, but it will take only less force to move this pen from the position of rest. That is the first law. Second law, lots of examples already given in that notes. I will give today that notes regarding this chapter. Okay, textbook question answer solution. It's a very big part. Like 10 or 11 pages are there. Try to complete it and copy it into your science notebook. So next one is the second laws of motion regarding momentum. So in that we studied about force is what? Mass into acceleration, m into a. How we can say that? What is momentum? Momentum is described as what? That all objects has mass. No doubt regarding that. Okay? Momentum means the mass into its velocity. Mass into its velocity. Understand? That is momentum. Okay. So in that part, the amount of momentum that an object has is dependent upon two variables: how much stuff is moving and how much fast the stuff is moving. Okay, that is momentum. How much is the mass of the object and how much fast it is moving. Both of these things describes the momentum. Understand? If mass is increased, huge body is moving means it is moving with high force. Understand? Just imagine a big truck is coming and hitting us. What will happen? We will die. Understand? For example, 50 kilometers per hour, a huge truck is coming and hitting us. His momentum will be very very high. Momentum high, speed high. Understand? If momentum is high means automatically we can say what? The force will be high. So that hitting force will be very very high. In the case of a small cycle is coming and hitting us at 10 or 50 kilometers per hour, anyway it will make us wounded, but we won't die. Okay. Very few people in the world are dead because of cycle accidents. Okay. Very few people, because the momentum is very less. So momentum is mass into velocity. We already know that. We derived an equation from that. So which equation was that? F is equal to ma. This is the equation which we derived. F is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, this is the main equation of motion. Okay, so this equation, lots of questions will come. For example, we already know F is equal to m. Acceleration is what? V minus u by t. V minus u by t. Okay, these are the two equations which we want to use from this part. Understand? So what is the second law of motion regarding momentum? According to the second law, the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied force. Understand? The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force and takes place in the direction of that force. Understand? Rate of change of momentum. Okay, that momentum means what? Mass into acceleration, isn't it? Velocity, say force increases, mass increases. Sorry, mass increases, force increases. Force is directly proportional to mass. More mass, more force is needed to move it. Understand? The rate of change of momentum means what? To make that object move, that force is more if the mass is more. Understand? And when the acceleration is more, the force will be more. That is the second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied force on it. Understand? More force, more momentum. Less force, less momentum. And if the body is moving with huge momentum, if it hits something, then also huge force is generated. Understand? That is conservation of momentum. We will discuss that afterwards. For example, you studied that these cricketers, while they are catching the ball, they are what they are doing? They are bringing back their hand down. Understand? Why? To reduce the force on the hand. Understand? You studied force is directly proportional to the velocity. If velocity is high, the force will be high. Okay, that momentum will be high. Momentum high means force will be high. So this ball, before taking the catch, its velocity is very very high, for like 100 kilometers per hour or 120 kilometers per hour. Even though the ball is small, the momentum, if its velocity is high, means it will have high momentum. High momentum means high force. So when we simply catching that ball like this, okay, simply for catching the ball like this means it will hit our hand with huge force. That time we can get hurt. Okay, maybe our wrist will be broken. That's why what we are doing here, moving our hands down so that the time is increased. See, but the time is inversely proportional to force. That means time increases, force decreases. This equation is being used there. More time means less force in hand. Understand? More time means less force. Okay, that's the second law of motion. Third law of motion, very easy. Every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Every action. See, bouncing back. Have you seen bouncing back? This pen also, just see, it is bouncing away from my hand. Isn't it? See, simply if I am putting this one, it is bouncing away. Simply it is not coming and staying at rest. That bouncing back is called as reaction of the action. Action is hitting the ground, reaction is bouncing back. That is the third law of motion. And the third law has a lots of what you say, lots of application in modern day science, like rocket, prop plane, ship, boat, even the vehicles. Okay, so that's very important. Okay, every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Regarding that, there is a particular law called the law of conservation of momentum. Law of conservation of momentum tells what? See, we already discussed that. So momentum is never created or never destroyed. Understand? For example, if two, see, I hit the pen. Understand? I hit the pen. See, where this momentum is gone, this momentum is transferred into my hand. Right? Okay, my hand is very big, that's why the momentum, we cannot see that. That's why these two pens come at rest. But if I am not putting it in rest, what will happen? It will bounce back. Understand? That means the force before hitting and after hitting, or the momentum before hitting and after hitting, is a constant. That is the conservation of law of conservation of momentum. Momentum is never created nor destroyed. When two or more bodies act upon one another, the total momentum remains constant. Okay, that means the momentum before hitting and the momentum after hitting will be same. Okay, so this application, it is been using a lots of part in modern day physics. It's only an introduction, not an introduction, it's only a conclusion regarding this. What to do? The theories and notes which I have given, study that very well. After that, slowly we will practice the numericals, and it will be very easy for you. It is not that much difficult as the last chapter. Too many derivations are not there in this chapter. Okay, that's it, my dear kids. The notes I will send. Till then, bye bye. Mithun Raj signing off from this part of the world. Okay, stay at home, stay safe. Okay, because it is the corona pandemic situation. Staying home will make you safer. Okay, bye bye, my dear kids. Goodbye and Jai Hind.